Hi, everybody. Welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. Today, I want to share a card with you that's part of the International Crafters video hop for January. And so this month, we're sharing projects that feature the celebration items. And there are some pretty amazing new products that you can get for free with orders through January and February during celebration. So if you've never heard of celebration, it's an amazing time of the year where you can get products for free with your orders. Great time to stock up on supplies like stamp sets, designer series paper, embellishments, and ribbon. So today I'm going to show you a card that uses quite a few of the products from the celebration brochure, along with a dies, and I don't have my dies with me, but it's the dies that go along with the Everyday Details bundle, which is in the new mini catalog. So if you got that bundle, it's got some amazing dies and some great stamps in it, you could get some of these items for free, or one of these items for free. So let me switch over to my desktop and show you the products that I'm going to use. All right, so these, like I said, there's a lot of different products that I'm using from the celebration item. And so some of these are available, I'm talking in Canadian orders because I'm in Canada. So either at the $60 level or at the $120 level. So I've got this Heartfelt Hellos, great sentiments. Don't you love these sentiments? This detailed dogwood is one of my absolute favorites. So this is actually available if you put a $120 order in. These dogwoods are so, so pretty. And then there are some embellishments that you can get. These are called opaque faceted gems in a pool party pecan pie. And I think that's Calypso Coral, but I used it the other day on with Petal Pink, and it looks really lovely. Two different sizes, so you get those for at the $60 level. This designer series paper is from the Softly Stippled designer series paper, which coordinates with a bundle in the annual catalog called Stippled Roses. But I'm using this beautiful one in Pool Party on my card. And then this Pool Party crinkled ribbon is available at the $60 level as well. So lots of products that I'm using from the new catalog, or from the celebration catalog for our hop today. Okay, so let me bring in my supplies. So I've got a piece of Pool Party cardstock. So before I forget to tell you, so underneath this video will be all of the links to the other participants in this video hop. So I hope you'll take the time to go and look at all of the projects that they've created using celebration items. And as well, I will put underneath the measurements in both Imperial and metric. I'm making my card in Imperial today, and I will give you the measurements, but I'll put both measurements underneath this. So I've got a piece of Pool Party. Now mine is cut 4 1/4 by 11. In metric, this would be 10.5. Got to get it right. 10.5 by 29.7 centimeters. And I've scored it in half, so at 5 1/2. So in metric, you would just score it in half. You could also use 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, or 21 centimeters by, I have to think about this, 21 centimeters by 14.9 centimeters. I might have that wrong. Anyway, it's half of sheet. Either way, I'm making a tent fold card, but you could also make a booklet fold card. So I've scored mine. And as always, grab your bone folder, fold into the mountain or into the raised line. Gives you a much better fold to your card. Okay, so then I've cut a piece of the designer series paper. So this is 4 inches by 5 1/4, or 10 centimeters by, let's see, I have to think about this, 10 centimeters by 14.4 centimeters. So that's going to go on like that. It's just so beautiful. Okay, now I went and cut. This is one of the dies, and I don't have the dies handy, but this is one of the dies that comes in the Everyday Details bundle. So this is one of the dies. This is the rectangles. There are also circles, and you can cut either, so when you cut this one out, you also get rectangles that, sorry, rectangles, little cutout dots along the edge. So if you took a piece of cardstock like this and cut it, you would get this rectangle cut out of the middle, but you would also have a rectangle of all of these dots. So it's a great way, this die, to be able to cut a frame, for example, because if you cut two pieces of paper and you would end up with a frame. Sorry, you cut a piece of paper big enough, you would end up with the middle part as well as the outside frame. Really cool dies if you haven't seen them. So it's called Everyday Details. So then I cut a piece of Pool Party that is just a 1/4 of an inch bigger. So in Imperial, it's 2 1/4 by roughly 3 3/4. So in metric, it's say 9.5 centimeters, just measuring, by 5.5 centimeters. So in Imperial, cut it a 1/4 of an inch bigger for the Pool Party, and in metric, 1/2 centimeter bigger. So we're going to layer that on like that. But we're going to do some stamping first. So I'm going to use this lovely dogwood flower. Dogwoods actually are the official flower of British Columbia, where I live. So in the spring, you see beautiful white. White is most common, and pink dogwoods around. Now, we've tried to grow dogwoods. We haven't been successful, so I just enjoy everybody else's. But they're absolutely gorgeous. So when I saw this stamp, I knew I had to have it. So I'm going to stamp this like this, and it's going to go on and off. It's going to be a little crooked, which is okay because I'm using Tuxedo Black. Well, that didn't stamp very well, but that's okay. That I probably should have had something underneath it. It didn't get quite in the middle, but that's okay. We'll deal with it. So I'm stamping in Tuxedo Black. Now I'm stamping, if you haven't seen, on this amazing glass mat. This is one of the things that you get. There are 2 offers if you decide to join the Stampin' Up! Community during celebration. This glass mat is one of the options that you can get when you sign up. You get the glass mat, you get a silicone mat, and you get a cleaning cloth. My cleaning cloth needs to be wetted. It comes damp, but I'll just use it to dry my glass mat. It comes damp, but you can re-wet it using water, or the Stampin' Mist works really well. So I've stamped this in Tuxedo Black, and I've pulled some blends. Now, like I said, you see pink dogwoods and you see white dogwoods. So I'm going to kind of do a combination. I've got the bubble bath. So I'm just going to kind of give my dogwoods just a bit of a tinge of this bubble bath. I'm not going to do the whole thing. Like I said, I should have restamped that, but that's okay. So I'm just going to give them a tinge of bubble bath. And the middles I'm going to do in the dark. So that was the light I've used. This is kind of the color. I'm just going to give that one. This is kind of the color of the dogwoods. Just a little bit of blending. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I am going to use some Wink of Stella because I just can't resist adding some Wink of Stella. If I can find it, there it is. So I'm going to kind of go over the whole thing in Wink of Stella. I need to press this. I need to scrap. So if you need to kind of recharge your Wink of Stella and press, just always make sure you've got a scrap, because you don't want all that to come onto your project. So then if you get a big amount on your scrap paper, you can kind of just use the brushes as if it was a paintbrush. So I'm just doing the flowers. I'm not going to do the leaves. Sometimes it's actually not so with the Stampin' Blends, but if you use ink, sometimes the Wink of Stella will actually blend your ink, because the ink doesn't dry, or maybe it's I haven't quite figured out if it's the ink not drying or the blends solvent being working with the ink and making it smudge a little bit. Okay, I am going to use, it's not quite right, but I'm going to use Pool Party for the leaves. The leaves are actually much darker, but I'm going to do some artistic license here and use Pool Party for my leaves because it goes with my card. This is the light. And I'm just going to kind of go over the leaves like that. Oh, I'm liking this card already. Like that. This is the dark, just to give it a little bit of color. There we go. Isn't that pretty? Now I could use some crumb cake or something for the stem or the branches, but I'm not going to do that. So we're going to now adhere this. Now I'm going to use dimensionals. I have some where I have some dimensionals. Here they are. I have to get a new package out. I used all of them. All right, so we've got some brand new package of dimensionals. So I always put a couple in the middle. When you've got a piece of cardstock that you're adhering down with dimensionals, make sure you put some in the middle so the middle of it doesn't sag, and so then this piece can go on like that. Okay, so we got most of our stamping done. So I'm going to adhere my piece of this. So this designer series paper is 12 by 12 or 30.5 by 30.5. And comes in beautiful colors. And like I said, it coordinates with the stippled roses. So it's called Softly Stippled. And then that's going to go, I'm going to adhere that flat. I've already got that middle, the white popped up. Like that. Oopsie, you know what I forgot to put? Okay, let's wait. I've got my ribbon and I forgot to put ribbon on. So this is the crinkle ribbon. So I'm going to wrap this around my card, and since I already partly glued that, that's going to help hold that in place. So it's, oopsie, I'm going to put that around the middle like that, and I'll just trim it. So this comes, it is polyester ribbon. It is 5/8 of an inch or 1.58 centimeters wide, and you get 9.1 meters or 10 yards of it. So it's a really good amount of ribbon that you get. Now I probably need a glue dot to hold that in place. And I realized I didn't put all the, maybe I did. It kind of looks a little dark. Hopefully that's not too dark. All right, we'll just put a glue dot there to hold this other end. Glue dots are amazing things. So during celebration, one of the things is, so you need to get to either the $60 or the $120 level. So glue dots, dimensionals are amazing things to add to your orders. We can always use adhesives to top up to that next level. So don't forget to check that out. Okay, so I'm going to just adhere that down. So I've got my ribbon in behind. Now I've got a piece of basic white that I just cut out to scrap. And I'm going to do the hello. And I'm just going to stamp this in tuxedo black. Find there we go. So tuxedo black. There we go. And I'm going to fussy cut. You guys that follow me know that I'm a huge fan of fussy cutting sentiments in particular. If you don't like to fussy cut centimeters, you can use a punch or a die. or you can use, or you can just cut a rectangle out and use your paper trimmer to do that. But I'm just kind of cutting around. I'm not really worrying if I'm, get a little wider in some spots than others. But again, just fussy cutting around these letters. You always steer with the hand that's holding the paper. So steer the paper as opposed to the scissors, and you probably, hopefully, will be more successful at fussy cutting. All right. So I'm going to pop my sentiment up. Oops. I want to glue it to the glass mat. And we will just put that sentiment right there, like that. So the last thing I need to do for the front of the card anyway, before we do the inside, I'm going to put some of these lovely opaque faceted gems on, and I'm going to use the Pool Party ones. They're 2 different sizes, so we'll put 3 of these and put one there. And now I cut a piece of basic white cardstock for the inside of the card. So it's 4 inches by 5 1/4 or 10 centimeters by 14.4. And then I cut just a little strip of designer series paper. I have to think about that. So mine is 3/4 of an inch by 4. In metric, that is 2 centimeters by 10 centimeters. And that will go just at the bottom. I like to finish the inside of my card. You could do some stamping if you wanted and coloring some of those amazing dogwoods, but we're just going to keep it simple and use that beautiful designer series paper. It's free with your order, so make sure you use it up. There we go. Okay. There is my card using just about everything that you can get during Celebration, except for these gorgeous dies. So if you did buy the Everyday Detail bundle, you could add on a $60 item. So isn't that pretty card? Love, love, love dogwoods. Might have to get my husband to buy one and see if we can grow it again. I don't know. We haven't been successful so far. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us this month in our International Crafters Video Hop. Make sure you take the time to check out all of the projects that are shared, and all of those links are underneath this video, as well as all of the measurements in both Imperial and metric. Thanks so much for joining me. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, and we will see you next month for our February International Crafters Video Hop. Bye, everybody. Happy stamping.